What's up, everyone? Alex Quin here, and you're listening to Hustle Inspires Hustle. On today's episode, we're going to talk about a shift that's quietly changing how money flows through music, marketing, and culture. Not because music stopped mattering, not because artists stopped being valuable, but because the places where money used to be spent no longer guarantee attention the way they once did. And that's forcing everyone to have to readjust. For a long time, spending money in the music industry followed a very familiar pattern. Budgets went toward radio promotion, traditional press, tour support, and release-driven marketing, to name a few. To be fair, those line items still exist today, but they're not being funded the same way or at the same scale. Today, we're seeing less money committed upfront to traditional artist development, fewer long runway bets, and more cautious spending tied to performances. That doesn't mean money disappeared. It means that it actually moved. So where is that money going? Instead of being concentrated around releases and tours, more spending is flowing into platforms that already control attention. For example, live content ecosystems, creator networks, podcasting, sports, gaming, and betting environments tied to entertainment. These spaces don't rely on one moment. They rely on daily time spent. And when budgets tighten, consistency beats tradition. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Music used to dominate cultural attention by default. Now it has to compete for it. Not just with other artists, but with many others, like live streamers, gaming content, podcasts, sports and betting streams, and creators who go live for hours at a time. This content lives on the same feeds, on the same screens, pulling from the same attention. So when labels and brands look at ROI, they're asking a different question than before. And this is where an important distinction comes in. When we talk about streaming in this context, we're not talking about music streaming. We're talking about live streaming, real-time creator content on platforms like Kick and Twitch, where audiences stay for hours, not minutes. That time-based engagement is what budgets are chasing these days. Artists aren't blind to this though. They're already moving forward where attention lives. Take Drake, for example. When Drake shows up in live streaming environments, it's not about promoting a song specifically. It's about occupying time, being present where culture is unfolding in real time. That kind of exposure often outperforms traditional promo in reach, longevity, and relevance. Creators like Aiden Ross didn't pull budgets away from music. They attracted them by owning attention. When artists step into these environments, they're not spending money the old way. They're borrowing distribution that already exists, and brands have been noticing. Companies like Stake and platforms like Kick aligned early with live creators by observing how their viewership behaved and acted accordingly. So what does this mean in real practice? This is what I'm seeing. Fewer traditional development deals, shorter promotional cycles for music, less guaranteed spend around releases, and more emphasis on audience ownership and engagement. So being real, money hasn't left entertainment. It's become more selective. And music now has to earn attention alongside everyone else. And this shift we're seeing shows up offline too. Fans are more selective about concerts, merch, and live events. When attention is split across platforms, spending becomes intentional. People don't show up just because something exists. They show up when it feels culturally relevant now. It makes sense for them. So think about this. If traditional music spend is tighter, where does leverage actually come from now? If attention is being bought by time spent, how much time are you really earning? And if money follows behavior, not legacy, what behaviors are you building around your brand? To be clear, this is not the collapse of the music industry. It's a reallocation. Less money is being spent the old way. More money is being spent where attention already lives. Artists who understand that shift won't wait for budgets to return. They'll move where the audience already is. That's it, y'all. Thanks for listening to Hustle Inspires Hustle. If this episode brought you value, subscribe and share the show. See you on the next episode. Don't forget that you can support our podcast by visiting our shop at hustleinspireshustle.com/shop.